When Topanga is going over to the Matthews house for Christmas, Cory is stressing while making sure everything is perfect for when Topanga arrives. He shows Eric a promise ring he's gifting Topanga and tells him no naked running because he doesn't want anything ruining Christmas. Topanga then arrives and Cory's dad says, "Let's make a toast with eggnog for Topanga spending her Christmas with them for the first time." They drink, and after drinking, Topanga asks if they've ever tried hot mulled cider. Everybody is shocked she even asked this, and Eric tells her no because they're an eggnog family. Cory says they can have both and Alan agrees, then sends Eric to get the cider from the market. Before leaving, Cory asks Topanga if there's anything else she needs to make Christmas good for her. Topanga tells him no, but that her family also goes to a green tree farm, and while she's talking she gets surprised by the Matthews aluminum Christmas tree. They then head to a tree farm in Vermont, and Topanga asks if they can also get some syrup. Eric complains, but they still do it.
This is gonna be the best Christmas ever. Ask her if she still wants it on the 25th, Cor.
Once they arrive back home, Topanga asks what time on Christmas Eve do they open their presents. An annoyed Eric tells her they open them on Christmas morning. Eric then pulls Cory to the side so they can talk, and he tells Cory that today Topanga takes over Christmas, but tomorrow she will be taking over the rest of his life. Cory doesn't think it's a big deal, so Eric continues pleading with him.
What's the big deal about when we open presents? And my Topanga name is Captain Take Me Shopping.
Yeah, well, Captain, this isn't about the presents, okay? This is about the power struggle between men and women since the creation of man over 300 years ago.
Wait until you guys see what I have to put on top of that tree. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Eric then asks Cory, why is he letting Topanga walk all over him? Cory says he's not getting walked over, and to prove it, he will make sure their star goes on the tree instead of Topanga's angel, but that never happens. They end up going with Topanga's angel for the tree, and this makes Eric upset, but Topanga mentions buying him an expensive gift, and this completely changes Eric's mind. Feeney then walks in to read his annual Christmas carol, but Topanga mentions what if this year they act out the story instead of Feeney reading it. Feeney doesn't like that the tradition is getting broken. Later at night, Topanga wakes up Cory at 3 in the morning. She says she was wondering what he was doing and asks him if he ever wakes up at night to think about things.
What sort of things are you thinking about?
Like, I know that Eric likes his eggnog, and that your father loves his aluminum tree, and I know that you understand that I have my traditions too. And you're okay with that, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, we all have our own traditions.
After asking Cory if he's okay with doing her traditions, she says that it's good to know that for the rest of their lives he will wake up with at her 3 in the morning to talk about things. This leaves Cory in shambles and takes away his sleepiness. He goes downstairs and sees his father is also up. He asks why, and Alan explains it's because of Amy waking him up. The following morning it's Christmas Eve, and Topanga cooks Cory pancakes shaped as Christmas trees. She doesn't let him put any syrup, so Cory gets annoyed.
These trees get snow.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
You know, I'm not really that hungry.
Topanga gives him orange juice to make him feel better, but once drinking it, Cory gets disgusted. Topanga says she put grapefruit, but this gets Cory even more annoyed. They then discuss singing on Christmas, but Cory says he's not singing. He tells her the traditions he likes and how he misses his family's Christmas tree. He finishes it up with saying they're two different people and aren't going to change that. Cory gets fed up and runs away to Sean's apartment, but Topanga follows him. She apologizes to Cory and says she'll be waiting for him back at his house whenever he wants to go home. Sean tells Cory to follow Topanga, but Cory doesn't go after her and stays at Sean's apartment. He watches A Christmas Carol and falls asleep. In his dream, Feeney pops up and Feeney shows him his life if he continues on the path he's on. What Cory sees is he gets fat because after letting Topanga walk out from his life, he begins taking comfort in food. Feeney also shows him how Topanga's life turns out. She gets married to Jack, and they even have children together. When Cory wakes up, he's no longer fed up and goes back home. He's singing outside his kitchen door, and Topanga lets him in. Cory gives her the promise ring and says it means they're going to be together forever. Topanga asks if he's going to be with her even though they're so different from each other. Cory says yes and asks for no present because she already gave him one. They both agree it's good they're different, and then Topanga still gives Cory a present, but it's also a promise ring. The episode ends with Feeney reading everybody A Christmas Carol, but they all end up falling asleep before Feeny finishes.
Humbug.
I like when they would show Cory and Topanga go through hardships. It proved they're actually meant to be. Relationships that get through stuff together end up together forever. I don't think Christmas with Topanga was that bad. If the Matthews really were so worried about Topanga changing their Christmas traditions, then they should have just said something. But I will admit it was sweet how they were nice enough to go with her Christmas traditions. Even if it annoyed them, it showed they actually liked Topanga because they were agreeing with everything she would say. I think the only unreasonable part was Topanga waking up at 3 a.m. to talk with Cory and expecting him to be okay with it for the rest of their lives. But other than that, she just wanted to go through her Christmas traditions with Cory. Let me know in the comments if you sided with Cory or with Topanga in this episode. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed.